there is a bunch of stuff in game pointing towards the Zapotron returning as well as the vault reopening. Alright guys, welcome back to another video, and in this one, oh my goodness, we have so much to talk about because it is a bunch of stuff, as I just said, pointing towards the possibility of the Zapotron returning and the vault reopening. There's so many things in game pointing towards this happening that I just had to make a video on it. So guys, be sure to watch through this video until the end because there is just, again, so many things to go over, so many important things to do with the Season 9 and also Season 10 story that you definitely want to hear. And as always guys, if you want to help support me, you can do so by using code TheLlamaSir in the item shop. And also guys, hit that like button down below in 5 seconds if you never got to use the Zapotron and you want to use it again. I know I do. And without further ado guys, let's just go ahead and jump into it with these clues and stuff like that. So first of all, actually, let's real quick go over an overview of what the Zapotron is, in case you're new to the game and you don't remember like the lore of the Zapotron, or if you're like me, you've been around since Season 0 but you kind of forgot a few things about it. So the Zapotron is almost like this myth, but it was real. It was a weapon that was actually in the game, but like it was vaulted in an instant. It was like so overpowered that it was just immediately vaulted. I think it came from Save the World, so it's possible they had just added it from Save the World into Fortnite BR. But basically it was a weapon that was legendary and you could only get it from supply drops, which was a very unique trait. But the thing that made it even more unique is that it literally shot like lightning. And not only that, it was like super duper overpowered. I think it did like 150 damage, but I'm pretty sure you had to actually like charge it up before firing that. So that was sort of what made it, you know, a little bit more balanced. And when I say balanced, I mean like not at all. Again, it was vaulted because it was so crazy. But we haven't seen this weapon since. So what happened to it, and are they going to be bringing back? I definitely think they are. So let's get into like some of the other stuff here that's pointing towards this. So basically guys, the first thing I want to talk about that leads up to all of this stuff, it has to do with Singularity, the brand new skin that was revealed to be the secret skin within the battle pass. And as you guys know, we predicted it here on the channel. We knew that this was going to be this skin right here, Singularity, with that helmet and stuff like that. But the thing about Singularity is just super interesting because basically what she appears to be is the Vault Keeper, and that has a bunch of implications to other things as well. But if you're wondering why she is the Vault Keeper, well, I mean, it's pretty obvious. You take a look at her helmet right there, that is the exact helmet that could be found in the vault back in Season 8. During the unvaulting event, you went inside there and you could see the helmet sitting on the desk, so she was obviously like the Vault Keeper in charge of all the vaulted items and stuff in Fortnite. Now after that, if you've watched my previous videos, you already know this, but they've made a statue of her, so obviously she's very important. But basically, Singularity is the Vault Keeper. Keep that in the back of your head. And also guys, I'm curious, comment down below which is better, Singularity or Ruin from last season, both of the secret skins. Let's see which one gets more comments. Now on top of that, there's something else also pretty interesting about her description. Now according to fnbr.co, her description is the first and the last. Very cryptic, and I'm not really sure what that means, but I still wanted to bring it up because, well, what could it mean? It could definitely have some references to the Zapotron because it was one of the first weapons in the game and also the first to get vaulted. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was the first to get vaulted. It was very early on in the game, like back when the ceiling traps and wall traps and stuff were in the game. So I'm not 100% sure, but if it was the first to get vaulted, it could definitely be the last to be unvaulted or something like that. So I wanted to bring up that description because, you know, what else could it mean? Could it have to do with the vault reopening? I don't know, but it's super important. But keeping it going here with the next thing that points towards this, that is the 14 Days of Summer event. Whether or not this event is out for you right now or is going to be coming out soon or has already happened in the past, it doesn't really matter because I'm pretty sure this stuff is more so pointing towards Season 10 when the Zapotron could be returning, in my opinion. Now with that being said, what am I talking about with 14 Days of Summer? Well, during that event, obviously you guys know that each day they are unvaulting a different weapon, which is very, very interesting, especially after last season we had the unvaulting event with stuff inside of it like the drum gun, the Stormwing planes, the Infinity Blade, and stuff like that. But there were only 6 items in there. However, with this event we have 14, which is definitely very, very odd. I think the Vault Keeper could be in connection with that event and the stuff happening, but it also means that she's in the process of unvaulting other stuff. So if she's going through and unvaulting all of these items and things that, well, were obviously in the vault, the Zapotron would have to be on that list. It would have to be somewhere among like the shockwaves, the portaforts, stuff like that. It's got to be somewhere in the vault, and the vault keeper would know exactly where that is and how to unvault it. And obviously then going back to that description, the first and the last, the first one to be unvaulted, I guess, would technically be the drum gun. I mean, I guess other stuff has been unvaulted in the past seasons, but not like story-wise. And either way, that doesn't really matter which one was first, because the last one could definitely be the Zapotron. Again, after all of these items are unvaulted for the 14 days of summer, the Zapotron could be later unvaulted when the vault maybe reopens in season 10 or leading up to season 10. So keep that in mind as well. But moving on here, guys, talking about like the vault reopening, why do we think this is the case and why do we think this is going to happen? Well, there's various things pointing towards this, but the first of which I want to talk about, I actually want to hop in the game real quick to cover this one. Oh, and by the way, guys, I just remembered, if you missed my previous story related video on like Jonesy's bunker, be sure to check that out. I will leave a link down below in the description. But yeah, all right, guys, so here we are in Playground. I wanted to jump into a Playground match to show you what this is, because it does show up on the map itself, and basically we want to head over to Loot Lake. So obviously, since it is in game, guys, you can take a look at this yourself and look at it and maybe find some other clues as well. I'd love to see if you guys find something that I didn't find. But as we're heading down there, as you can see, there is the vault. Very interesting. We'll talk about that a little bit. But also, again, you have this cord running from the vault all the way to Neo Tilted, which is very interesting as well. However, something you may know about that has just changed in the V9.30 update is this whole thing right here that has to do with the monster. The sea monster, whatever you want to call it, the Polar Peak monster. Basically, you know, as you can see, there's a giant footprint, meaning that he came over here and destroyed this part of the, well, Loot Lake. I mean, there used to be a building here, as you can tell. But that's not the most interesting thing. I think the most interesting thing is this right here. The fact that this cord is partially destroyed. It's not fully destroyed, it's only partially destroyed. And if you take a look at it, it is very, very detailed. I mean, it like moves and stuff like that. You can see like the power going through it, and then you can also see electricity coming out of it. Now that means a couple of interesting things. Obviously, electricity, could that have a connection to do with the Zapotron? I don't know about that. I mean, it's possible, but maybe that's a little bit far-fetched. However, I think it's more so pointing towards the fact that this line could be severed and stuff like that. The cord could be broken, and that could have something to do if we try and head over to the vault again. Come on, heading on over there, running fairly slow. All right, here we are, the vault. But if that cord gets cut, could it have an effect on the vault reopening? I mean, it's definitely possible, because I mean, take a look at how this cord is obviously coming from the vault. It's taking power from the vault, as you can see from the line going, you know, from the vault over to Neo Tilted. So if that power gets cut, it could have some weird effect where the vault gets forced to be reopened. And with that being said, we could definitely maybe go inside of it and get the Zapotron back. And on top of that, guys, there's also the fact that you can see through, actually, can you see through here anymore? Yeah, you can a little bit. I mean, it's sort of hard to see when you're not in replay, but I've showed you this before. If you take a look like right here, you can see that the inside of the wire is actually modeled, and it's like different from over there. Like this modeling looks like if it were to be cut, it would show that inside modeling, which would obviously, it wouldn't be there unless there was a purpose for it, unless they're, you know, we're planning to actually cut this wire, which again could lead to the vault reopening and then the Zapotron and stuff like that returning. However, guys, that is not it. We've still got a bunch of other things that are pointing towards this, and like the other thing I wanted to bring up is the fact that the Zapotron is probably, if not the most futuristic item in the game or to ever be in the game. I mean, just take a look at it. Doesn't it fit so well with the current theme of like futuristic type stuff with Neo Tilted and Mega Mall, etc.? All of that stuff is super futuristic, so having something like the Zapotron would definitely fit in. Not only that, guys, but it literally fires lightning. That's crazy. I mean, if that's not a futuristic type item, I mean, I don't know what is. Now, the other thing about it that you might be wondering is, well, if it was vaulted for a reason, if it was super overpowered, you know, would they unvault it? And I mean, simply put, they could just change some of the stats of it. It would be very interesting to have like a charge up mechanic similar to how the minigun charges up, but maybe just lower the damage a little bit and stuff like that. And hey, they could do it. They could bring it back into the game. It would be that easy, and I don't see why they wouldn't decide to do that, especially, and this is like the final clue I want wanted to talk about in this video, especially when it would just be like so much fun. I mean, the very purpose of the first unvaulting event was to have people get excited about bringing back a certain item that they haven't seen in a super long time. And since they've already done that, why would they not bring back the Zapotron? I mean, it's like this super hyped up, almost mythical type item. From a game making perspective, that would get players like super excited and want to, you know, try it out. So I think from looking at it from a game making perspective and also looking at it from the in-game clues, overall, it's a very good possibility that the vault could reopen, and inside of the vault, the Zapotron could be found. Yeah, guys, leave a comment down below what you think about that, and also hit that subscribe button down below for more videos like this on the Fortnite story coming out in the near future. You can also check out some of my previous videos here, such as on the left, my week 7 challenges guide, and then on the right, my previous video going over story related stuff and things like that. Super fun. But anyways, guys, again, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.